Hello. Welcome again to another episode of Give It a Shot, the Spotlight Edition. Today, I'm revisiting a series, I guess you could call it, that I did a review on 3-4 years ago. I'm willing to say, probably closer to 4. The Cabbage Patch Kids. This I found at a McKay's in Chattanooga, of all places, and it intrigued me because I had already seen. No, I take that back. I was gonna say I already did the other one and then bought this. The truth is, I think I bought both of them at the same time because they looked interesting, to say the least. And I thought they were way older than what they are, but this is 2004. I actually thought this was like 1989 given the styles that they wear, but it's not. And this, believe it or not, was going to be the one I reviewed when I actually did the Cabbage Patch review, except I did, instead of this one, I did The New Kid. This is the Screen Test. As you can tell, they have some riveting titles to all of this. If I remember that episode at all, because when you review shit on a weekly basis, you tend to forget things. There's episodes that I've totally forgotten because of what I've reviewed, and I kind of remember it, now that this is jogging my memory, but I remember The New Kid was one of your status quo deals when this new character shows up and they have a talent show and whatnot, and it was alright. It wasn't anything mind-blowing, but I think at the time I said it was probably one of the better things I reviewed. I don't know. Put up the rant and let's see what I actually said. And I could have made this review nothing but jokes on how hideously horrifying the animation and these dolls are. But I didn't want to beat that dead horse. And when I wasn't trying to combat that, I was having flashbacks to high school because of the way they fucking look. And that's the place I don't ever want to go back to. Thank you, 1995. So right here, I'm either going to say, wow, that was really insightful, or that was kind of dumb. Whatever, I don't give a shit. I think it's 4 years ago or so. Do you think I can remember anything? I can't remember what I did earlier this week. Anywho, let's get on with the Cabbage Patch Kids. If you are too young to remember, they were a line of dolls that people damn near killed each other for. It was one of the first gotta have it toys for the Christmas season, back when that was still a thing. I remember that was the struggle for that was very real to get Cabbage Patch Kids back then, and I think the closest thing in recent memory is Tickle Me Elmo, which was like the late 90s, but it could just be that I'm older now and there's just no toys that I really want or anything like that, but I don't recall any Christmas toys as of late that have come out that say this is the gotta have it toy for the Christmas season. I don't know that. So for all I know, the gotta have it toy is like a thing of, that's outdated. The closest thing I can even think of is like a PS5 or something like that, because I know people still they gotta have such stuff, but that's just a changing of the times. But let's get out of the rabbit hole and figure out what's with this thing. So, figured I'd review it, seeing as how it's sat around for a number of years and I had no idea what I was going to do with it. So this is the screen test, because I can't remember what I just watched. Go figure. And that's kind of the problem with this. But let's lay out the story before I really get into what is going on here. So they have a school project because they're kids and they're in school, and of course they're going to have a school project, which I've never had an entire class project. I've just never seen that before in my life. And they have to figure out like what kind of project they're going to do. And you have one of them, I think her name's Norma, because she's got the freaky hair and the glasses, and I think I do remember her name being Norma. She had this article she found in a newspaper that describes this harrowing incident between this doctor and this nurse saves this doctor and whatnot. And somebody got the bright idea that, we should recreate that. That'll be our class project. We'll retell a story.
Barry means is that we've thought of something. Ta-da! We're all gonna make a movie for our class project.
And we'll film it. Which, little kids filming something back then, yeah, that's a pretty hefty class project. If I was a teacher of children that age, whatever age they happen to be, yeah, I'd be cool with that. So, they're putting together the project and whatnot, and it's all haphazard. They run into problems, as you do, being a professor of mass communication. I am very familiar with these technical difficulties, and people are problematic. So I had flashbacks. A few. This is not a shot because of the animation or anything like that, which I'll get into, but just that memory of production problems. This is for all my homies. The struggle is real. God, is it real? Oh boy! I don't know where that octave came from. Anywho. So, they are putting together the movie and they're recreating things. They've decided that they're going to use this older equipment because that's what they have access to, because it's cheap, sitting in their parents' basement or attic or wherever. And they run into technical difficulties the whole time with audio, and like the one kid who's really nervous because I can't remember anybody's names in this. He exposes the film when he pulls it out, and they lose that film and whatnot, and it's like they're having problems the entire time, especially considering that their antagonists, these two girls with hair bigger than anything I've ever seen in the 1980s, in 2004, are boasting about their project and whatnot, and they're doing it all on this laptop that they have, which is the latest in technology.
It's the very latest technology. You just press the keys and it beeps and
when you close the lid, it makes a perfect fashion accessory.
God, I just want to strangle him because I remember people like that. And so they're feeling this pressure and whatnot, and the director, I think his name Barry? I think his name is Barry. He gets all frustrated with his friend and just like with no prompting just tells him to leave.
Gee, Trav, we're trying to make a film here, and you're just fooling around. Maybe you should find your own project to do.
Like, they don't even really yell like you would typically see. It's more of a, hey, you're not taking this serious, get out sort of deal. And it's not even like high drama. It's just like, well, if that's how you feel, okay. And then he leaves. And they filmed something and they did alright, but like I said, the nervous kid screws up and the film comes rolling out and exposes it, which if you don't know, in older film, when light hits it, it wipes it clean. So you have to be very careful about its development. And so, the girls make fun of that. The antagonist girls make fun of it.
Suppose you did remember to put film in the camera?
Well, of course. Billy?
It's okay, Barry. I did remember. See?
some other shit happens, you know, these struggles of whatnot, how things are falling apart and how they had a fight, and well, I guess they're brothers? I don't really know. The one who's messing with the audio, he accidentally erases the project of the two antagonists because he was just curious, he was looking, and they came up and surprised him, freaked him out, and he fell over, and they're like, "You've deleted our project," and whatnot, and they have a flip out, and there's this whole part where, you know, everybody's trying to rectify the problems, and they do, you know, the one who erases the computer stuff gets his little brother to help. I think it's his little brother. I'm pretty sure it's his little brother, and has him retrieve their files, which turns out to be just 2 sentences.
Just a couple more files to go. There it is.
He found it! He found it?
I found it. Hang on. There are only 2 lines here.
That they're working on their project, and I can relate to that a lot, especially when you're working in projects and articles and whatnot. 2 sentences can be a lot of work. I am very familiar with this quite a bit, so I get it. And so they're like, "Oh shit, we've been exposed. We had next to nothing, but we've been making fun of you." And the rest start making up about, you know, their troubles, and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna finish this," but the director, Barry's like, "I gotta go and apologize to Travis." Meanwhile, Travis is up in the treehouse that they have, apparently, and he falls through a hole that's been there since the beginning because one of those twits with the audio equipment threw it into the treehouse, and it put a hole in the floor. Well, he's fallen, he's dangling and whatnot, and Barry coordinates a rescue, and they manage to rescue his dumb ass, and the nervous kid ends up filming the entire thing, and they're like, "Well, shit, we don't have to recreate anything. We'll just use this as a project." And they do.
Billy, what are you doing? Oops!
Yeah!
I don't know what grade they got, but I'm assuming it was good because they were all excited. And there you go. When the antagonist girls come in with their with their project, one of the other characters keeps a spider in a jar for reasons. It's not explained in any way, shape, or form. And it drops in on them, and they freak out, and they toss the laptop, and it breaks, and they're like, "Well, that wasn't very good anyway." So I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Whatever. It's a very plain piece. It's not... There's nothing in it that screams originality. It's a simple premise. They're trying to make a movie. It reminds me of that one episode of Muppet Babies where they make a movie, except they're more fun, because this isn't. This is just run-of-the-mill boring, and it's kids making a movie, so it's not much of anything. Animation-wise, I said it before. I think I said this in the review, and I'll say it here. I'm pretty impressed by this stop-motion animation. This could not have been easy and or cheap to do stop animation of these figures. So I'm impressed by the animation, but I'm still creeped out by the dolls. I've never liked the dolls. I always found the dolls kind of off-putting, even when I was little. Like, not because I didn't like dolls or anything like that, but because they just look kind of weird. And they still look kind of weird here. And I think this has always kind of been a problem with the Cabbage Patch Kids. Like, they're in that very particular style. And, you know, it's not... It doesn't look timeless. You know, like a teddy bear is timeless. You know, a teddy bear, you know, just a regular brown teddy bear, you can't go wrong with that. that's pretty simple. I mean, if you add nuances and whatnot, it is what it is. You know, like, but like these things in their design, like they just never updated anything, and so they just don't look right. So, like when you're watching this, all I can do is look at the hair and see how big it is on everybody, and it just doesn't look right. And I don't know, I'm just not kosher with it. It's kind of hideous. Aside from that, like I said, it's a technical feat. I'll give them that. For whatever budget they had, it's a technical feat. Considering especially that this is from, because I just saw this on the way upstairs to do this, 4Kids Home Video, and distributed by Funimation. Like, really? 4Kids is behind this. Okay, I'm mildly impressed. I did not expect them to be any kind of involved with something like this. 4Kids, I don't know, I always kind of viewed them as cheap animation or just, you know, overdubbing anime for children and bringing it here, like Sonic X and Pokemon and things like that. I never really would have thought this, but they did it. It's got its weird quality. It's got some nice touches too. I forgot about that. Like the laptop, it's a banana instead of an apple, which is kind of cute. Like their attention to detail, I'll give them this. It's impressive. Like it's stop motion all the way, but there are parts where they actually have, like, there's a bee that attacks one of the audio guys, and it's an animated bee, and it's like, I'm impressed at like the detail that they do. But the thing that hinders the whole point and project of this thing, their faces. My God, they just don't work. Oh God, they just creep me the fuck out. Huh. Oh. So. So it's a mixed bag. And I hate using terms like that, but it is a mixed bag of like quality stuff. Like, that's a technical feat. I'm not gonna knock like the stop motion and because I know that shit is hard. I've done very basic stop motion, and it takes way too long. And this, I can only imagine how long this took. The only thing, I can't say the only thing. One thing that, you know, really detracts from this entire thing, they're song heavy. There are 3 songs in this, and this is only like a 22-minute piece, and you've got 3 songs. So that tells me you didn't have much in the way of plot. So they pad out the story with these 3 songs. Like, they're trying, like, it wasn't like they were trying to break Good Times and Jet Lag's record, but they were trying. Because I think within the first 6 minutes, I got 2 songs, and it's like, why are you doing this? Like, you could have fleshed out some things better. I don't know if it's like one of those things where animation just feels the need, like, if this is gonna save money, because I always feel like singing songs doesn't, but for whatever reason, a lot of animated specials, just animation in general, like to do songs. So it's impressive, but it's still got its flaws, like those antagonist girls and their hair. God, that's a lot of hair. I mean, they are perfect antagonists. I mean, I want to strangle the snots. But, I mean, that's just a lot of hair. But that goes back to my whole thing about they just need to update. They they should have updated. Like, I don't know if Cabbage Patch is even relevant anymore. Like, if the Cabbage Patch Kids are still a thing. Put a picture up here if they are. Like, if there's a current line or anything like that. And I'll have a face of shock. That it is or it isn't. Because, quite frankly, I don't care. But, yeah. It's not the worst thing. It's again, to me, it's technical achievement. If anything, it is a technical achievement that they made this look as clean as they do. But it's also horrifying because these kids and the style of the dolls are hideous. So it's it is. That's all I can say for it. It is. What else can I say? Impressed? Yes. I mean, I will say this. It is very relatable. I can empathize with what they're going through making this project. I have been there several times. And you know what? I'm going to, because I don't think this is like, there's just nothing here that is worth talking about. So I guess I'm gonna give you a story real quick and how it relates to this. So this is a class project. I'm very familiar with those sort of things. When I was an undergrad, I had a class project with 2 other people. And I remember when I got that project, because it was my senior capstone course, my professor pulled me aside when my project proposal was accepted, and I had to be team leader, told me that I'm going to give you this person. Now, this is his second time taking the class. This is the only class he needs. So give him the most bare bones thing that you can do so he can get the hell out of here. I don't want to see him again. Never had that kind of conversation with a professor before. And now that I am one, I understand it. So, okay, I've got this project. I have this young lady with me. Her skills are PR and whatnot. And then I call him third guy because I literally cannot remember his name. And we figured the whole thing out. I give him assignments. I basically said, I will do all the filming because that is my strong suit. And it was filming of a skate park. It was a promotional DVD. And I gave the role of, providing information, doing the insert and whatnot stuff for it to my female partner. She killed it. And then third guy, all he had to do was design the DVD cover and the DVD label. We never saw him again at all. In fact, we tried to contact him every way we knew at the time. Phone number, campus, like his campus line, email, everything. Nothing. Couldn't get a hold of him. Professor kept on asking, do you know where he is? No clue. None at all. Fast forward to the day before the project. My partner's like, hey, do you just want me to design something real quick? I'm like, please do. Please do that. And she knocked it out. I mean, it was 10 minutes. Done. Next day, presentation of project. Guess who shows up? Guess where he finds me? In the bathroom. And he's a bit bigger than me. And he has me in a compromising position because I am I'm at a urinal. And I'm like, oh God. And the first thing out of his mouth is, hey, do you got anything for me to do so I can pass this thing? And I'm like, dude, I got nothing. I'm having flashbacks of junior high, like, here's where I die. Like, he's just gonna kick me into the urinal and then beat the shit out of me. Thankfully, he did not. He just walked away. And we got like a 98 on the project. It was like, my professor was wild. But he asked me about third guy, and I said, he didn't do a damn thing. And he was kind of upset at me. And I'm like, dude, I have done everything in my power to get this dude through. So I don't know what to tell you. So I get the team project aspect. I understand those headaches a lot. But yeah, as for this, bland, other than it's a technical achievement, I can't stress that enough. It's pretty awesome, but still pretty creepy. And yeah, that's pretty much what I think about it. It's kind of awesome to look at and horrifying at the same time with a bland story. So there you go. That's the Cabbage Patch Kids. Only one legitimate shot, but it is one shot because it's more boring and bland than anything. Other than it's, again, I don't know how they did that with the dolls. So, until next time, kids, toodles.